welcome to a Sandalwood Spotlight podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Navya.
And I'm your other host, Jnana.
And this is the podcast where we obsess over everything happening in the sandalwood industry. But first, we have a disclaimer as always.
Yes. Um, Short and simple, we both have strong foreign accents and we can't control these, and we really do apologize if we mispronounce words, actor names. We're trying our best and our hardest, but you guys need to understand that we don't really have control over this accent. It's just what we've picked up in where we grow up and what we've picked up. So we're trying our hardest and we're really sorry.
Exactly. All right, let's get started with our first segment.
News from Sandalwood Spotlight. Basically, I made a little post on the Kannada Chitra Loka Reddit, and a lot of people it's drawn a bit of attention. Like, it got like 5K views. There was a lot of comments and people being really supportive. If you guys are listening to the podcast from the Reddit, all I have to say is ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು for giving us a chance.
Yes.
We would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and maybe we'll have our own subreddit one day where we can just chat to you guys. But yeah, that's all. We'll get right into the topic now.
But first, surprise, we're women.
Yes.
What if you thought we were men, but we're women?
Most of them, no, it was so funny. Most of the comments were like, good luck, guru, good luck, matcha, good luck, bro. And I'm like,
but we can be matchas too, right?
Matchies. We can be matchies.
Yes. But yes, thank you everyone for interacting with that post, and thank you for listening if you are listening from that post.
Yes.
All right, now let's get into it. Kareena Kapoor, toxic with Yash. What are your thoughts?
So a few months ago, I actually saw a little rumor about this, and I was like, she's playing the love interest? And I told my mom, and I was like, Kareena Kapoor is playing against Yash, and she's like, as his mom? And I was like, no, mom. And then we concluded that she could be a potential love interest because she looks so young for her age.
Yeah.
Or she could possibly be like a sister or a friend or a mom or something else.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of like the combo. Like,
okay. Yeah.
I know there's hot takes, but playing his sister, I think that's safe. Like, it's good. Like, Kareena Kapoor is like, you know, nationally well-renowned 2000s great actress. She's done a lot of classic Bollywood hits.
Yeah.
And I think bringing her onto the team drags a lot of that North India audiences in.
Yeah.
And overall a pan-India audience in. But also, it's gonna be interesting to see how Yash's sort of chemistry, like, is with her, like, on screen. How will they actually kind of could pull off siblings? Like, I see it. I'm not gonna lie. I do see it. So I like this. I think.
So you're excited
for his sister role.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else would make such a good-looking sister-brother duo.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, I personally, I'm not a hater. I'm all for it. I think it's great. You know, getting Kannada film industry's name out there, as long as they label it properly, because I know a lot of people are like, Kannada, Telugu, all the same, right? Like, this, you know, I think once again, Yash has a big pan-India audience after KGF, so this will probably make them happy, and I'm happy to see him grow.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, like you mentioned, like, there were rumors that started a while ago. I was actually watching Coffee with Karan, and it was the episode with Alia Bhatt and Kareena Kapoor, and Karan asked Kareena, he was like, if you could act with one South Indian actor, who would it be? And she's like, Yash, and I was like, what the heck? Like, why would she say that? And now it makes
I saw that. No, she was like, I'm not KGF girl.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So now it all
dropping
makes sense.
hints.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, I think she's a really strong female actress.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think she's gonna have a really, like, powerful role. Like, I could see her in a really badass role.
I hope
I'm
so.
looking forward to.
Yeah. All right,
So,
well, All the best, Karina. We're looking forward to your entrance into the sandalwood industry.
Yes, we are.
So this week we also celebrated World Theater Day in India, and a ton of our actors come from the theater industry, like Dr. Rajkumar, Umashri, Shankar Nag, Pavan Kumar, and Satish Ninasam. Is that how you say his last name?
Yes, Satish Ninasam.
Yeah, to just name a few.
Yes. Yes, I think that's great. I think theater actors, they bring so much to the table.
Yeah.
They bring so much vibrance. My grandpa was actually a theater actor
Oh wow.
himself.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of his co-actors or like friend, like a junior actor of
Mm-hmm.
his was here in Australia recently.
Oh
Like he's
wow.
also a family friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling me like my grandpa's passed long
Aw.
back, but he was telling me these stories about in Hassan how they would do all these. They would have to like go travel and they get to like dress up and
Wow.
people they had like a little fan base going on and they just have so much character.
Yeah.
They're so vibrant, compared to the style that movie actors or like TV actors bring in.
Mm-hmm.
I think theater just has so much talent
Yeah.
and effort and time because they're doing everything
Mm-hmm.
in real time on
Yeah.
stage. Everything's in real time. There's no cuts, there's no edits. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing that we have so many talented actors in the industry that come from theater
I
because theater
agree.
doesn't get as much love,
No, it doesn't.
as these days as it used to back in the day.
Yeah, I agree. And also, Yash is also apparently from a theater background. This I did not know.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
Yasha's theater background's a bit less
yeah. But he still comes from
dominant, but it's
it.
still, yeah,
Yeah,
he still does, he
yeah.
does. But yeah, it's great, it's
Now,
great. I think yeah, it's
yeah.
great.
Now I'm glad a ton of our actors come from theater background. I think theater is a great like place to really hone your acting because you don't have any of the distractions that you would have with movies and like a cinema, right? Like with cinema, you'll have like a strong background music going. There'll be like a ton of effects or like lighting, all that stuff. You don't have that with theater. It's just you and your troupe.
You are the
Yeah,
you make or break the show.
yeah, exactly.
And back in the day, it was also like a Hallis and all that sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing would
Yeah.
congregate, and it would
Mm-hmm.
be like a big deal for them, like this play is coming or
Yeah.
this play is
Yeah.
coming. And Rangabhoomi is honestly so overlooked, and uh, even recently we watched Blink, and
Mm-hmm.
they sort of highlight theater and that, and I just
Yeah.
think it deserves more love.
And speaking of Blink, we both watched Blink. We just did a deep dive episode that we're going to be releasing pretty soon. But did you want to give people a preview of your thoughts about the
Yes,
movie?
if you want to listen to us get into the nitty gritty, break down the storyline and our honest opinions on Blink, do check out our deep dive episode, which hopefully is up before this. But yeah, overall, fresh concept, um, new genre, fresh concept, like nice acting and good visuals. Out of 10, I would probably give it like a 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Great acting, great directing, great background soundtrack. Overall, good movie. I probably would put it at this about the same.
I would like. I think the best way to label it is it's an attractive film. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I would label
yeah.
it.
It's a Kannada movie for the new
Yeah, I
generation,
think
and it's
yeah,
pushing the Kannada movies forward, which is always good
yeah.
to
I think
see.
it's a new era, a new yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna create a lot more um opportunities or new concepts and stuff. So it's good. So yeah, do check that out.
yeah.
We're not gonna give too much away now, so you can go listen
Yeah.
to our deep dive.
Next, in slightly sadder news, Ramya is no longer going to be part of Uttar Kannada, which stinks because I was looking forward to her like official return. I know she did a movie recently.
She
Was it
yeah
like
she
Hostel
Yeah, she
Huduguru or
did a
something?
cameo in
Yeah,
Hostel Huduguru.
yeah.
I watched a little bit. I couldn't finish the film.
Me
But
neither.
I think she played like a teacher role.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, she made her little cameo. I personally miss Ramya.
yeah.
I want her back in the film
Me
industry. I
too.
know a lot of people feel the same about me because I see so many edits and stuff of her.
Yeah,
Um, which is sad that we are missing out on her time.
Hopefully soon we'll see a return of her to the industry. I know she said she can do due to dates or something, but you never really know what that reason means.
It's crazy to me that actors who are acting with Ramya are still heroes, but those same
I know, girl.
actresses are now playing mom characters or sister characters, and
I
yeah, it's
know.
shocking,
I
isn't it?
know.
Like I was watching, what was that Dhananjay film?
Which
It
one?
has no,
Monsoon
it did
Raga?
really good. Like it did really good. It was Badwa Rascal, and in
Oh,
it,
uh-huh.
the actress's mom, like Amrutaya's mom, is
Hmm.
Rekha, and Rekha was uh so Rekha
What?
was not Rekha, like not Hindi Rekha. Uh
No, no, I know,
yeah,
the Kannada
Spasha
Reka.
Rekha.
Yeah.
Spasha Rekha was Sudeep's
Yeah.
debut actress.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy that Sudeep
That's
still
crazy.
plays.
She's a mom?
Yes, it's crazy.
Oh
Sudeep
gosh,
still
yeah.
plays a hero role or the main protagonist, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Whereas those actresses are now playing mum roles and sister roles, and they might as well push them into grandma roles at this point. But we'll get into that
Yeah.
later.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yes, we
what was
will.
your thoughts on Diggins' trailer for Marigold?
I was disappointed. I was really looking forward to this movie because the poster looked so good and so intriguing, and I was like, "Wow, this can be so fun." And watching it, I was like, "I don't know if I want to see this movie."
That's my yeah. I got really turned away from the trailer. I'll be honest. I feel like they
Yeah.
revealed too much in the trailer. It felt really like poorly, like choppy, sort of almost. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
and I wanted to see Digant in a. I know Digant plays the boy next door, soft boy, Dudpeda character. I love that. I love him
Mhm.
for that.
Mhm.
But I thought
Yes.
this was gonna
Yes.
be more of like we get to see him in a different light. But I just don't know. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's done well. You know, a bit undercooked.
I agree, but hopefully it's just the trailer just being terrible because sometimes trailers are terrible and the movie is great. So fingers crossed
Yeah,
that's what it
maybe.
is.
Also, I have a little rant. Trailers these days are getting too. They're like 5 minutes long, and they give you the entire storyline.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take the mystery away from the film or the story, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
suspense. Like
Hmm.
you just be knowing.
That's why I kind of stopped watching trailers for the most part. Like how when a movie's first announced, they'll release a teaser. Usually I'll watch those because those are like 10 seconds long, and I'm like, this is perfect. But like, I watched this trailer, but yeah, hopefully it's just a bad trailer. That's just what I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
maybe we'll get better clips later and teasers and songs. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do love
Yeah.
Diggins. I like that he's doing more films, and he's done some pretty good films in
Yeah.
recent years. Like I liked Galipata too.
Yeah.
I liked Bachelor Party, so it's good to have him back on the
Hmm.
ball because yeah, he's great.
Yes. But in better news, I've been seeing a whole bunch of posts of people or of movies holding auditions. Like Uttar Kannada had one, Toxic had one, Prajwal he has a movie coming out, and he was also holding auditions for his movie. So if you're trying to break into the industry, I think this is your time.
Yeah, I if I was in Bengaluru right now, I'd be
Yeah.
lining up. Do I
Yeah.
fit any of the descriptions?
For
No,
Toxic.
for real. If do I fit any of the descriptions? Nah. Am I gonna
Yes.
be there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It could be like 70-year-old man. I'll be like, I'm here. This is me. I can do it. Please,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
I think it's great.
exactly.
I think giving newcomers that chance, getting that, like giving
Hmm.
like talented people chances instead of
Hmm.
like making the entire industry inbred is great. I know the Shetties really love to do this. They
Yeah.
love fishing and finding new talents, and I want
Yeah.
to see more of it. I know a lot of like the Kantara cast got opportunities like this, Kantara,
Yeah.
Cake Party, all that sort of thing. So I'm excited for you guys, and I hope one of you guys goes and auditions.
Yes, and please let us know if you get a part, or even if you don't. It's just exciting that you got to go on auditions.
Yeah, that you literally we're in the same. You made mutuals with Yesh.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You could be the future of the color industry. You never know.
Okay, so this is the perfect opportunity for us to get right into this week's topic, Henmakle Strongu Guru, which we all knew from day one,
Yes,
but
obviously.
recent recent life circumstances and events have proven that point more and more again, which is perfect because Jackie got re-released, and that iconic line we is iconic from Jackie and other places. But
Hmm.
um the biggest event being that RCB got the cup from the women's IPL.
Yes, finally.
So ಈ ಸಲ
Yeah.
ಕಪ್ ನಮ್ದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಸಲ ಕಪ್ ನಮ್ದು, and ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು
Yes.
ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Yes. It's so exciting. Finally. This is the first cup in what, 15 years that it's been established, right? Was it 15 or
I think
16?
it's, yeah, I want to say 15, but the RCB people the fans are gonna come for us. Please cut us some slack.
Okay. Yes.
But
um
speaking of RCB,
yeah, it's
first they had
yeah.
the the women's won the cup, which is amazing. Like,
Hmm.
it's just amazing. Like something that RCB was
Yeah.
trying for years. Years they were facing
Yeah.
humiliation from CSK and the other teams, so mainly CSK because we got beef.
Yeah.
If you support CSK, I'm sorry. It's all love here. But they
Yeah.
did it. The women did it. They showed everyone how it's done. Brought back that
Yeah.
they brought back that respect to RCB. Did you have something
Hmm.
to add, Navya?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Shriyanka. She's the most adorable little girl on the. Okay, I should say little girl. She's the most adorable woman on the planet. She's 18, so she does count as a woman. But she just seems like such a character. I've been watching all her interviews. It's funny. She did an interview with Mr. Nags where she calls him an uncle,
Oh, don't say it.
and I died. I was like, "That's so funny. I love her so much."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shanka's her edits are so cute. She's so adorable, and
she's
she's
so
so
cute.
she's like a powerhouse, man. She just,
She
yeah.
is. Yeah.
I keep seeing edits
Well,
of
yeah.
Elise Perry, and I think that's also great how everyone's just switching up now. They're just editing all these women, and they're just
Yeah.
like Henmakle
Yeah.
Shanguguru, but like um, it's just a lot of the women are garnering a lot of attention on social media, and for once, it's
Yeah.
good light, not negative light.
Exactly. Who's the third player? The third player they keep highlighting? I forget her name.
The girl that says Isala Cup Namdo Allah, Isala
Yes,
Cup
yes,
Namde.
her. She's important. She's cool too. What's her name? I
Oh,
forget
I'm
her
so
name, but we
bad
love
with
her
names,
too.
guys. I'm so bad with
Yeah.
names, but
We love you too,
we
girl.
love everyone on the women's IPL team.
Yes.
Um, Everyone is very talented, great. They're taking us to places. Thank you for putting us on the map. We are forever in
Yeah.
your debt.
Thank you.
And then RCB had
Yeah.
their unboxing event where they rebranded from Royal Challengers Bengaluru to Royal Challengers Bengaluru, which is 10 out of 10.
Yes.
And
Yes, love
I
it.
just loved all the effort they put into like the ads. They got all
Hmm.
the actors. They got Shivraj Kumar, Rishabh
Yeah.
Shetty, um, Ashwini, yeah.
Ashwini, which thank God.
And
Yeah.
and my favorite part from that event was Kohli saying, what did he say? He was like, "Idu RCBಯ Mundina or
Yeah,
Wasa
something.
Adhyaya," something like that. And it was
Something
so
like
good. I
that,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, yes!"
Yeah. Well, again, congratulations, RCB. But let's get into our main theme of the show: women in Sandalwood. There are problems for women in Sandalwood. Do you want to get started with the first
Yes.
one?
We've started the theme off on a positive light from women
Yeah.
garnering positive attention, but the theme is not so fun. It was
No.
International Women's Day in March, so we
Hmm.
are still keeping in that spirit as we go into this topic. First one is women being over-sexualized in characters or their only purpose in the role they play. Like they're sort of treated like an object in
Yeah.
whatever role they're playing, or they're just overly sexualized, like in item dance songs, item numbers, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's crazy in 2024 that item numbers are such a big thing and included in almost every movie. Like, I understand them including in the mass movies because obviously those are like, the big movies, but like even small movies still have item numbers, and you're just like, why?
And it just never gets tiring for them, always having a almost
Yeah.
naked girl dancing with all these drunk men dancing.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it be a hot guy for once? Why can't it be a half naked man for
Yeah.
once? You know?
Yeah. I'm just so over like the item numbers. Like I watched Vikrant Runner last night, and I love the movie, and I love the item number. Rukama, is
Right,
that
and I
it? Is
come
that
out.
what
Yeah,
it's called?
Jacqueline. See, I
Yeah, yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
that's one of the item numbers I like because Jacqueline and Sudeep, they both dance in it and they both do a really good job. But I
Yeah.
guess it's more the
Yeah.
concept of how Jacqueline runs the bar and people only come to see her, that sort of thing.
No, that in that one it made sense. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in that one it made sense. She's a barmaid. Like it makes sense. But like you'll have like random movies where it'll be like a love story, and then like randomly you'll just have like an item number, and you're like, really? Like, was that necessary?
Also, just like any female character that's the love interest, the first attack the villain will be like, oh, I will,
Leering at
yeah,
her.
like I
Yeah.
will touch your woman, or I will like do
Yeah.
things I can't say on here to your woman. And it's just
Yeah.
like, seriously, is that all you see when you see a female? Is that all you see?
There's like a term for this in movies, and like it's like something bad happening to a female character to be a catalyst for the male character, and I'm forgetting what that term is, but that's basically a majority of the women characters in Indian films serve that role
And
basically.
it's not just like that, right? For example, in a film, everything's going smoothly, and all of a sudden the villain wants to get revenge. First thing he's gonna do, he's gonna get his goons to kidnap the heroine so he
Yeah.
can like,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and they just throw around sexual abuse like it's nothing. They throw around terms
Yeah.
or phrases, or they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that to you." Like it's nothing. Like there's no
Yeah.
trigger warnings or anything. Like I get it if it serves a purpose, but just throwing it into general dialogue, it's just
Yeah.
generalizing it, which is just making it more harmful.
And it's just tiring, and like also like if we look at it from like an actress's point of view, she must get tired of being in that same role over and over again and having to deal with that like abuse. I know it's like acting, but still, like, I'm sure a part of you still goes home at night like you're still taking that away from the set, right? Like I can't imagine it feels
I
good.
get it's her job, but also she is a human being
Yeah.
who has a
Yeah.
Manatsu. What we're trying to say is the Indian audiences are really toxic in the sense they constantly nitpick everything.
Mhm.
For example, I can't remember the actress, but she was just walking. Like she was literally just walking. It was a reel on Instagram and it was like, someone so spotted walking here. Cool. You open the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, is she pregnant? She looks fat. Oh, is she tanning? Oh,
Mhm.
hairful. Oh, this. She's ugly. Oh, she's this. It's
Yeah.
just constant. Like, yeah, everyone's not gonna be your type or not the prettiest to you or whatever your opinion, but these keyboard warriors, they just throwing out every single comment under the sun and forget these are real
Yeah.
people. Like, if you woke up and someone, every single minute of your life, all someone had to say about you was something negative, like it's gonna hurt, at the end of
Yeah.
the day it hurts. um Actually, I recently watched a clip on Instagram from Chaitra Achar. She was doing a podcast
Mhm.
interview with somebody.
Yes.
I think it was Rapid Rashmi, the actress,
Yeah, it is. Mhm.
where she
You're right. Yep.
expresses she went to a award show wearing a particular outfit, and I think it was slightly revealing or something like that, which people don't understand that, if she's going to a wedding, she's gonna wear the correct attire. If she's going to an award show, it's
Yeah.
common for actresses to dress up, be glamoured, and normally they don't choose their outfits. It's they get a
Yeah.
tailor, someone sponsors them, that sort of thing. It's all organized by their
Mhm.
team. They don't really get a say. So then people were telling her to die. People were telling her that she's defaming, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's ruined the
Yeah.
industry. They just completely ignore her talent, her achievements. They ignore everything over her
Yeah.
piece of clothing. And it's just Is that
Yeah.
what it comes down to? Is that how you see her or
It
any women?
yeah, it's really disappointing and disheartening to hear that from an actress because at the end of the day, this is her job. It's her job to put herself out there in sometimes compromising positions depending on the role. And instead of people understanding that and accepting that, they're trashing her for it. And like going to an award show wearing the revealing thing, it's sometimes for press, and she's doing it to get press for her movie. And instead of people understanding that and being okay with it, they're just slut shaming her, which makes
They
no
people
sense.
don't understand. A lot of the time, she doesn't choose. She doesn't choose what she wears or how
Yeah,
she dresses. Normally, it's her team. There's someone a stylist, someone behind
yeah,
her looks that
yeah.
initiates it.
Dressing, if she's dressing in a certain way, it's for a purpose. It's not because she wants to. As a woman, I'll let you know. Like if I could walk out in pajamas and no makeup and my hair in a bun, and that be acceptable, I would. like
See, immediately,
like if I could walk into work like that, totally would.
immediately people are like, she doesn't care about herself. She's not put together.
Yeah, yeah,
She's a
exactly.
low life.
Yeah,
She's this. She's that. The minute a woman,
yeah,
like, okay, let's say Chaita's team or anyone, they weren't designed. They wanted to wear that. There's nothing wrong with that. They
yeah,
can choose to wear whatever they
yeah,
want. They can express themselves.
yeah,
That does what they're wearing or how they decide to express themselves doesn't define them, their achievements, or them as a person.
yeah,
And I think that a lot of audiences just fail to distinguish that the way someone presents themselves
yeah,
has nothing to do with who they are and their achievements and their
yeah,
worth. And we need to
yeah,
stop putting people into boxes that they need to look a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain way, be married at a certain age, all that sort of thing. It's really
yeah.
damaging, it's really pressuring, and it actually causes people to backlash.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one. Paying actresses. I know, especially in the Kannada industry, apparently women get underpaid a lot because there's so many options for actresses in the Kannada industry. And that's why most of our actresses leave. But this is not just a Kannada industry issue. Like, this is a every industry, everywhere issue for
Gender pay
women.
gap is so real and
Yeah.
it's so brain dead to me how people be arguing. I know in Australia where I live on International Women's Day, a lot of the airlines, like the Australian owned airlines, they had
Hmm.
only female pilots flying on International Women's Day to show that gender pay gap is being minimized. And then, people were like, okay, cool, like they need to get paid the same as their co-worker male pilots. People in the comments
Yeah.
are saying, oh, are they doing the same job? Are they doing the same job? Why should a woman get paid more if she's not doing the same job? They're both flying airplanes. How does, they
Yeah.
don't understand it is the same job. It's not like them comparing someone who works in carpentry to someone who works in
Hmm.
retail. It's not apples and
Yeah.
oranges, it's apples and apples. So why it doesn't exist? But
Right.
when it comes to films, obviously the role of the it's really complicated because the impact of the role and how much that role is gonna bring in revenue is gonna play a factor. But women just keep
Yeah.
getting thrown under the rug. One, they're not getting given roles that are exactly
Substantial.
substantial roles. They're the love interest, then they just scream around, ask for the hero to save them, that sort of thing. They don't really
Yeah.
have roles that
But
garner that.
yeah, but like sometimes like there are movies where like yeah, it's a male lead, but I'm looking at like the hero and going, "Oh, I want to see it for her." Like I know a lot of Radhika Pandit movies she did with like not so famous actors like Yash. I would watch it for her, not for the actor. And even though it was like a male lead, it I was there for her, but she probably didn't get paid as much as a male
Not
lead.
so famous for not so famous person. Yes, is such a controversial topic. I mean, not topic, a line.
Oh no! I said not as famous as
Not
Yash.
I
Sorry,
thought you
maybe I
said
messed that up.
like not as famous like a Yesh, and I was like,
Oh no!
Yesh.
I was thinking like no. Like I was thinking
Yeah,
other
okay,
actors, not
that makes
Yash.
sense.
Yash is famous. Like
in
yeah.
in the
Sorry.
hindsight of things, Radhika Pandit is more famous than, for example, she did a film with Nirup Bandari. So
Hmm.
that was probably his like second or third film. In that stage, she's
Yeah,
definitely more famous than him. She's been in the industry longer. She's done more films. She's garnered more
yeah.
fans. But it's interesting. Do you think she got paid more for that? And that's when it's sort of,
Absolutely
you
not.
know, obviously we don't know for a
Yeah,
fact. This is just us taking some points and
yeah.
discussing it. But it's really sad to
Yeah.
see, and people are like, well, they're not doing as impactful roles, but the gap is ridiculous. Like some film I heard that one
Yeah.
actor got paid like 10 crores and the actress got paid like 50 lakhs, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
But this is one of those topics where I don't know what the solution to this is, because I think this stems from the age-old belief that women are just not as worth as much as men, and I don't know how we overcome it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a long way for the society to get out of those
Yeah.
old ways when they stop looking down on it. Have even in society, if you have a daughter,
Yeah.
it's a liability, but if you have a son, apparently it's an asset. Just those from
Yeah.
day like
I know,
from
girl.
day one, they start installing these things into your brain. I'm really grateful for my parents. They never like indifferentiated me and my brother. They always treat us the same, equal
Yeah.
rights, equal opportunities. But I know so many people that just the minute they are born, they immediately like, oh, okay, you're a housewife and you're a doctor. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, and it stems more than the cinema industry. But anyways, keeping to the industry.
But even with, like, I think progressive parents, there's still this like idea that, oh, you're a girl and you're just a daughter, like he's a son. Like a daughter needs to get married at a certain age because, like, we need to send her off. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. You see it here as well. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
you did good for a girl. What is that supposed to mean? You wouldn't say that to a man. You wouldn't be like, "Oh, you did good for a boy." You would just be like, "Oh, you did good." So it's the little things that if they just change the way they expressed things, maybe, you know.
Yeah. Next, colorism and weight judgment is a huge, huge problem. I mean, in Indian society, but especially in films. I think when we did the episode where we talked about heartbreak films, we talked about Nitya Menon being shunned from the Kannada industry because she was too heavy, which
Literally
is ridiculous to
ridiculous.
me.
And
Ridiculous.
we could go on about this for ages, but let's keep it short.
Yeah.
Keep it to the core of things. When you think of a female like love interest, the first thing to go into your head is gonna be skinny, light skin or light features, which is
Yeah.
stemmed from Eurocentric beauty standards. It's it. Why have they defined beauty as that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know,
It's crazy to me that Nitya was shunned because she's so, like, light skinned, and she doesn't even weigh that much. Like, yeah, she might be thicker than like Radhika Pandit was at her height. That's like her height of her fame. But like, it's like Nitya's still very thin.
it's not thick or thin. It's more so they've just popped everyone in a box. They need to be this height, this weight, this face structure.
Yeah.
And Nitya Menon, maybe she was slightly not fitting that category. She's still gorgeous. She's still beautiful. She has a lot of
Oh
fans.
God, like I just don't
And
understand.
she
Yeah.
expressed later on in that interview that fans love her because of who she is. They love seeing someone
Yeah.
like themselves, someone who's more curvy, someone who has a
Yes.
bit more I wouldn't say she's heavy, she's just curvy, like it's natural. She's built like
Yeah,
how she
she's
should
curvy.
be.
That's what she's. Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but seeing someone like themselves, someone built like them, someone that looks like them on in media, it's changing because if you don't fit in that box, you never imagine yourself to be the main character. You know, yeah, colorism as well.
Yeah, sadly in the Kannada industry, like I don't know about the other industries, I won't speak to that, but we still have in Kannada industry, I still haven't seen anyone who comes close to like Nitya Memon's like every woman kind of body
Mm.
shape. Um I'm like thinking like the recent movies that I've seen, all of them have been thin and very white.
I
Like,
feel like they get more light skinned by the years. Like
yes, I agree.
there is nothing wrong. Like the actor, somehow people immediately forgive. They're like, oh, he can literally be any shade, any build. We don't care. He's still a good-looking man. But the God forbid, like the actress is any shade, she tans a little, she's gone. Nah, man, she's.
No, you know what's funny? I was when I was looking at posters from Milana recently, and they actually edited Upwu to be lighter,
Oh yeah, they do that
which
all
is
the time. They
crazy.
do that all the time.
Crazy.
Some of Jagesh's films, if you see like his face is like 5 shades lighter than his hand, neck, and back.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Actually, same with serial, like TV shows and serials. Like, for example, Bhumi Shetty, she has openly spoken about this multiple platforms. She did that serial, I can't remember the
Mhm.
name. It was really popular. I used to watch it with my grandma, but in that serial, her face was like light, and then her back, like if she's wearing like a sari, like the blouse, her back, arms, and everything was so much dark, like significantly darker than her face. Yeah, than her face, and she
Uh-huh.
just
Yeah.
expresses like multiple times how for her to like her features fit the beauty standard, but her skin tone didn't. So that's how they will literally paint
Hmm.
her till she became the right shade. It's ridiculous. The Fair and Lovely ads, everything.
It makes me kind of wonder how many amazing actresses and actors, for that matter, we've missed out on because they weren't the right weight or skin color.
Yeah, but for some reason, for the actor, they're so forgiving.
Well, but I think they're not as forgiving as they used to be because even now the actors are getting pretty light too.
Yeah, but they're still gonna like, if they're not the lightest, it's whatever. If he's not like got a six pack, it's whatever. Like, yeah, yeah, like they're more forgiving than female leads.
Yeah, definitely for more forgiving, but I think like yeah, it's the issue still persists on both sides. But yeah, definitely more forgiving for the men,
For
but it
example,
still sucks that everyone's dealing with
for
it.
example, like Ambrish, he's an amazing actor, veteran actor. Is he like really light skin? I wouldn't say so. I think he's quite like naturally tanned
Well,
on that middle range. Is he got a six pack? I don't think so. Most of his films I've seen, he's got quite a healthy body. He doesn't, from what I've seen, it's not
yeah,
like six pack, more like dad bod, like comfy dad bod type. So
yeah.
that's completely like romanticized, but God forbid a female actress immediately they're like, oh, she let go of herself, she did this, she did that.
Well, Umbridge might not be a fair comparison because if you look at the older actresses, they were a fair bit darker than the newer actresses. Um, I think the newer actresses are very much expected to be super light
You
skinned.
reckon? Oh, like actresses, not actors. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like Umbridge, like he wasn't from the older generation, and even actresses in the older generation. Like I know, there's this. I forget. There's this one actress who was very dark, but she did a ton of movies with
Was it
Rajkumar.
Lakshmi?
Um, Maybe I'm luck to give Lakshmi. I'm
Wait,
not
my
sure,
mom,
but a ton of them.
my mom was literally watching a film with her in it like yesterday. Wait, I know her name.
Yeah, a lot of the actresses were a lot darker in the older days, and it was okay. But it's just nowadays they're just expected to be super, super light and super, super thin. That's the other thing. Like the actresses in the olden days, they were pretty healthy looking. At least the Kannada
Not all of
actresses.
them, obviously a few.
Not all of them, but I would say there was a lot more women with regular body types than we see nowadays.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But yeah, as we go on, I feel like we're going backwards with our standards. We're just being way too
Yeah, I no,
harsh.
I completely agree. Yeah,
Sorry, I
I
was
don't know what
just
point is.
looking something
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Where? Yeah.
But yeah, the last couple of movies that I've seen, very much very skinny, very white,
Oh yeah, for sure.
very thin.
Yeah, every recent film, they all fit that category. It's not
Yeah.
like there's one film I can point out and be like,
Hmm.
oh, this actress is not in the box. They all just fit in the box.
You know, Chaitra, I think pretty much is the most unique actress currently in the Kannada industry. She doesn't fit that normal
Oh yeah,
box.
I completely back that. I think I love
Yeah.
seeing someone who has a more natural skin tone. Someone who,
Yeah.
a lot of
And
girls.
her face is like very square shaped. Like it's not the
I
typical like
She looks a lot like
oval.
Alia Bhatt, like personally, her face shape. She
She
looks a
does.
lot like Alia
Hmm.
Bhatt, and Alia Bhatt's
Yeah.
a very successful actor, so I think that's great.
Well, she's also light
Yeah,
skinned
so she's
and
like
a nepo
the
baby.
the darker version of Alia, but she's still gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I know people who Chaitra's skin shade growing up, they were probably told, don't go in the sun,
Mhm.
don't,
Yeah.
do this, don't do that, you're gonna get darker, try this, try that. But I love the way Chaitra just flaunts her natural skin. I think it's gorgeous.
Agreed.
Also noticed,
Um
for example, like Deepika Padukone,
mhm.
she was never like the lightest actress, and then I think she got a bit lighter when she entered her Bollywood like peak.
Oh
But
yeah.
now
She's
I saw
yep.
her in I think it was a Coffee with Karen episode. It was pretty recent. She was looking really
Uh-huh.
bronze again, so maybe they're getting back into realizing that white is not always right.
Yeah, but like I don't know what it is. Like her skin got very light and now like yeah, she's leaning in towards a darker skin tone, but I just don't understand how you achieve that. You know the one movie where they tanned an actress? You know in Doom 2 Aishwarya
Yeah.
Rai? Do you know like they weirdly decide to tan her more than she normally is? And I remember being shocked
Do
by
they?
that.
I think, okay, is it that for the song or
Yeah.
for the film? I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it was the whole thing. It was just weird. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I'm glad they did that, but it was just a weird choice for typical
you
Indian
know what's
movies.
really weird? There's this Tamil film with Amy Jackson. Do you know Amy Jackson?
Stop. Did they
Sh-
tan her or did they color
she's
her? Oh,
she's in the Kannada film The Villain Would Sleep in Shiraj Kumar.
yeah.
But in that film, there's this Tamil film where like she was in, I can't remember, but she's in like this field, I want to say like a hully, and she's like literally so dark, and then this guy comes
Oh
and
my
gives her like
god.
cream and she becomes white again. But Amy Jackson's white, she has no Indian descent in her, she's 100% white woman.
Jeez
Oh, it's
Louise.
crazy to me. Um
I know.
Even Pushpa 2, Rashmika Mandana, they definitely made her darker. Like there is no way that's not her natural tone. Like they definitely did something to make her appear like darker, fit that like village aesthetic, like that like working in the sun aesthetic.
It's
Where they could have just casted someone with a medium skin tone, you know?
I know. That's what pisses me off. Like just get someone with a slightly darker skin tone. Why does it have to be these actresses who are already white? All right. Uh the other big thing that is facing the Kannada actresses is a lack of good characters for women. Often in Kannada movies, we see women being the side piece or the accessory to the man.
Yeah, they don't serve any purpose except for being the damsel in
No,
distress.
yeah. And we'll talk about Yua later in our looking forward segment, but I've been seeing the reviews of that movie, and they basically said Septami disappears in the second half, which I was like, that checks out. Like, that's what I would expect.
The only reason they cast a female character is so the male has a love interest. That's it. They serve
Yeah, that's
no
it.
purpose other than entertain the male, stir up a bit of the plot, and disappear.
Yeah,
And if something bad happens, they just go hide behind the male while he beats them up. That macho masculine.
yeah.
That's why I always loved Ramesh Arvind films and Anant films growing up. They
Mm-hmm.
never really
Yeah,
focused on that macho sort of toxic masculinity type, and they
yeah,
always just showed like soft boys, and I really always admired those
yeah,
characters. They were great characters, and there was nothing wrong with them. So yeah, it's so
yeah.
interesting.
More recently, in Wanda Sarla Premakate, like we had a heroine who didn't just both of them didn't just disappear. They're well thought through women characters who had something to contribute.
Yeah, they had talent. They actually added to.
The plot, like they weren't just there for a pretty face. Like it was good, but that's outside the norm. Normally, they're just side pieces. So we want to highlight some Kannada movies where there's strong women
Yes,
characters because they do it, believe it or not.
enough negatives and ranting. After RCB's win, I think it's time to focus on the positives of the things the women have done in the industry. Um, that you know we look up to. Us as
hmm
women, we look up to, and we think they're really paving the way
Yeah,
for the future generations, and have garnered the
yeah.
respect.
Like Achar and Co. that came out late last year. Woman director, cast of that movie is basically almost all women, and it's a woman centric story, and it's so good, and it did so well with audiences, and people really really love that movie, despite it having so many women
Yeah,
characters.
there's nothing wrong with the women director. Immediately, people assume women director, oh, it's not
Yeah.
that good. And sometimes it's
Yeah.
always women putting women down. Like like the Barbie movie last year highlighted that, and I like that movie. I think it's
Mhm.
great the way they really highlighted society, but it's always women putting women down, being like, oh, but it's probably not that good. Like, Our Triangle Code was
Yeah.
beautifully written, it was beautifully executed.
Oh my
The
god.
main
So good.
lead, every person that played a character in that film was unique. They were
Yeah.
outside the box. They sort of had
Yeah.
their own character had its own like uniqueness to it in terms of how they express themselves or their interests, and they weren't all boring and were like boy crazy or whatever.
Yeah. I and it was so beautifully directed. Obviously, we could tell watching that movie that the director was highly influenced by Wes Anderson, but it wasn't a copy. Like you felt the influence, but it was not a copy at all. And I think that takes a skillful director to do that correctly, and she did such a great job with
Yeah, of
that.
course. I recently watched Swati Muttina Malahaniye, which you've also watched,
Oh, so
and
good. So
having
good.
Siri Ravi Kumar sort of be, I actually liked the dynamic in this film because she's the film revolves
Yes.
around her. It's her storyline. We're following her storyline, and Rajbi Shetty is just a pawn in her story that
Mhm.
changes her perspective on things. I liked how she ends up taking a stand for herself and um
Yeah.
garners the courage and that sort of thing. So I really liked that film. It was
Yeah.
great.
And this is a little bit of a spoiler, but my favorite scene is she's having a conversation with her mother because she's married at this point and she's falling in love with the patient. And her mom's like, I understand your pain. And that was such a beautiful moment because I think often in Indian cinemas, women, mother and daughter relationships are not portrayed well at all. And to see this dynamic being portrayed so beautifully, I will still cry about it to this day. Like that scene is just so
And I feel
beautiful.
like the moms are always so forgiving. No matter what the husband does or the son does, they're always portrayed as
Yeah,
so
yeah,
forgiving. They never take a stand. And if their daughter is getting beat by their husband, they're like, "But he's your
yeah,
husband. Like you should do this. You should not." Yeah,
yeah.
it's good to see the mom take a
Not in this
stand.
movie. Like, oh, it was just it was just so nice to see because I think for the most part, moms are really supportive of their daughters. We just don't see that on cinema very
Yeah,
often.
we should see
And
more
the
more
scene,
open-minded moms,
yeah,
moms who handle situations well, because they're gonna influence moms in
yeah.
real life.
And we've talked about Mogi the Monster before. Obviously, we're both big fans.
Yeah, I think Mugen Masu was the first film I remember as I grew up seeing a teen seeing a girl be the main character and like a story revolving around
Hmm.
her love interest, her crazy teen life. She's going through all these changes, hormones, whatever. And I really loved. I thought she was iconic. Chanchala's character was iconic. Um,
Yes,
the outfit she wore, like I love the story. I loved how Yesh was literally a side piece.
yes,
It's
yes.
crazy. It's such a flex.
Uh,
Yeah, by the way,
yeah,
I highlight this
exactly.
guy, he's just, he's on the roster with all the other guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I don't think there's a lot we have to add on Morgana Manasul. Strong female
No,
lead,
no, they're truly great.
memorable
Mhm.
characters, and emotional.
Yeah, for the point at the for the time in which it was filmed is such a forward-thinking movie and really radical.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's really realistic in terms of how people feel at that
Yes.
age. Like it's real. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
just relate to the character so much because you feel it. Like, you've experienced it, sort of,
Yeah.
the thinking process and everything. I'm excited to talk about this. Mala Shri,
And
Mala Shri,
her cop
not
movies.
just her cop movies, but yes, her cop movies. Mala Shri is
Yeah.
the first female lead I remember watching that did non-stereotypical roles.
Yeah.
She
Agreed.
wasn't scared to get, like her iconic song that's like ಒಳಗೆ ಸೇರಿದರೆ ಗುಂಡು ಹುಡುಗಿ
Mhm.
ಆಗುವಳು ಗಂಡು, like that. It's
Yeah.
just she was never afraid to explore, and she felt
No.
so
And
secure.
it's yeah, I mean she obviously started off playing like the naive village girls and everything, but over the decades she's really blossomed into this strong female character in her movies and it's it's refreshing to see and I think it's amazing to see that a Kannada heroine has held on so long in an industry that is not very forgiving of
You know, she
women.
was so true to herself, and she gained
Mm-hmm.
such a loyal fan following from that. People loved
Yep.
her for who she is.
Yeah.
You know, haters are gonna hate, but at the end, she gained so many fans, followers,
Yeah.
Abhimanis, because they liked the role she was playing. They liked it was new, it was fresh, it was um like it was just so good to see that women are
Yeah.
strong. Women can play roles like cops and um police
Yeah.
officers. They don't always have to be the side wife or anything. So
Yeah. The naive village
the
girl.
naive, yeah, the wife, the naive village
Yeah.
girl, the damsel in
Yeah.
distress. So Malashri has just
Yeah.
brought, and I think Haripriya is like my recent time Malashri. I wouldn't say she's
Uh
Malashri,
huh.
but I know I've seen Haripriya in a few films. There's I
Yeah.
can't remember the name, but there's Kata Sangama and there's one more
But
where
yeah.
she plays the lead cop role, and she's in charge.
Yeah, she's one of those actresses that has been in the industry so long. I think she does have she probably could have the same trajectory as Malashri.
And
And I hope she
she's
does.
also not afraid to explore. She's done some roles that are
No.
like that make heads turn,
Yeah.
but she's proud,
Yeah.
and I love seeing actresses who aren't afraid to bring something new, bring something that's gonna maybe get some hate, but also just be like push the industry forward, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, I have something else to say. Oh
Exactly.
yeah, so today I actually watched uh
Case of
yes,
Kandana
correct.
or Kondana.
Case of Kondana with Vijay Raghwendra. And Vijay Raghwendra was, to be honest, a side character. Me,
Oh
yeah, so
wow.
Bhavana was pretty much like the main character in that. Not the main character, but
Interesting. Okay.
more so the most powerful character, because she was the
Okay.
ACP and he was just a sub-inspector. He was like he was lower than her. And
Wow.
yeah, like the story follows him, but she had the more powerful role. So she influenced,
Okay.
she had the most influence. And it was interesting to see that dynamic where he he didn't play like the macho hero. He played like the naive new police joinee who gets caught up in
Mm-hmm.
this like mess and finds himself in this lots of distress and she has to save the day sort of thing. So yeah, it
Wow.
was really refreshing to be honest.
So question for you, was there an item number in this
There was
movie?
no songs. I just
Wow. I mean that's hey, I'll take it. I'll take anything.
it was very serious. Like there was like Rangai Raghu and stuff, but
Okay.
it was very serious. It was
Okay.
the film was quite dragged. I quite liked the story. Like it was like a domino effect, you
Okay.
know. One bad thing happens and the next and then
Yeah.
all this happens and next this happens.
Right.
But I liked how powerful Bhavna's role was. She loses her dad and she still um is able to run her team. She's like, everyone assemble, this is the plan,
Oh
she's
wow.
so like,
Yeah.
this is the plan, we're gonna start from here to here, we're gonna do this, and this. And whereas Vijay when they played like the helpless, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, like I'm my life is over sort of
Yeah.
character. So yeah, I like the dynamic.
Well, everyone definitely check out that movie. Seems interesting. But any last thoughts on the women of Sandalwood?
I think we're very blessed to have many talented female
Yeah.
actresses in the industry who might be veterans, might be new, might have only done one or two films in life, but they've all contributed such. I think every time I see a woman on screen, I'm just so fascinated. Like, I just
Yeah.
feel so seen and heard, and I just connect to them. So I think every
Yeah.
single woman has contributed so much to the industry, and we're very grateful.
Yes, agreed. And also, like, I think we want to take a moment to acknowledge any woman behind the camera. There haven't been too many documented. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of women behind the scenes doing work, but it's just not documented as much. So for those like uncredited women, thank you for all your work. I'm sure you're also helping push the industry forward. It's just no one wants to give you credit, so I'm sorry. All right, now the fun segment. Looking forward. There's always so much to look forward in the Kannada industry. Yua has released in India officially. It's gotten mixed reviews, some good, some bad. I am personally gonna watch it tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good. I have faith in this
Yeah,
movie.
Australia still hasn't had any announcement about a UR release, international release for UR yet, which is sad because I was looking forward to it. I think the plus points are there's a Hombale Productions, and normally they have high
Yes.
quality productions.
Hmm.
But yes, we have seen a lot of reviews saying there was a lack of immersion, bland acting, or bland storyline. But I
Yeah.
guess we have to be forgiving that it's his debut. Like, he's not gonna be
Yep.
born the most talented actor ever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah. And I definitely expect him to be a little stiff in this movie because it is his first. He probably wants to come off as a serious actor, so I expect him to be very, very stiff. So yeah.
people are like, oh, he's a nepo baby. Like like there's so many more
Well,
talented people
yeah,
out there that deserve the opportunity. Of course there is, but then again, he's
yeah,
given this opportunity, and he's taken the opportunity. He could have gone into another industry, but he wants to, you know, give it his best shot, and gotta let people try and trial and error. So we're gonna
yeah.
support him.
But here's the thing. Yeah, he acknowledges it. That's the thing. Like he acknowledges his grandpa and his mama or his uncle, and his dad and everything. So if he acknowledges it, I think it's good. He's not out here pretending like he got into the industry straight on his talent.
Yeah, yeah. Like he's obviously given the opportunities
Yeah,
more than someone
yeah,
else or like an average person. But yeah, as long as he learns or like adapts and he doesn't keep giving us the same thing, and he learns and he
yeah,
takes it as like, yeah, okay, well, I could have done this better or this better. But also, I feel like audiences
hmm,
are just so harsh because they have expectations because of the family
yeah.
legacy.
He's young. Give him some
But
time. I'm sure we'll love him eventually.
But if like the genuine story is bad, then well, we can't do a lot of
Yeah,
defending there because that's not really on him.
yeah.
More so his story selection.
Yeah. I mean, it always takes a while for an actor to like really get into industry. Even Appu, like I think Milana was his like big like official hit,
Yeah, like
right?
Apu didn't even want to go into
Yeah.
acting. He wanted to do business.
Yeah.
And for him, he
Yeah.
did face a lot of backlash as well. They were like, "Oh, he's only doing acting because he failed in
Yeah.
business and all that." People talk,
Yeah.
people talk, They're always gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
But then once his breakthrough, people are, oh, Apple's great. So,
Yeah. Give him some time. He'll be good. Next is the movie Scam 1770 or 1770. I don't know exactly how they're going to say it. But this seems like a very interesting movie. It's about the Indian education system and education overall. And from what I've seen so far, it looks very interesting. I think it's about to be a controversial movie.
yeah, I guess any political topic, any
Yeah.
topic that is based on real life is gonna have some backlash, controversy, that sort of thing. Like we've seen a few films in this topic, like Kranti. Recently, we saw Yuva Ratna
Hmm.
talking about the education system, how there's a misuse, how education is
Yeah.
turned into business, and honestly, I appreciate them
Yep.
calling the matters out. I think it's gonna kind of raise awareness,
Yeah.
make people step back and be like, oh, okay, okay. But then again, so many films like this have been made over and over again. And as much as you want
True.
them to make an impact, a lot of the time they don't. But I do have high hopes.
Yeah, same here. Next is I think this is Karebete, I think is how you say it. Probably saying it wrong.
Tere
Um,
bete.
but yeah, this is like it seems like a Romeo and Juliet kind of like movie. Basically, like a couple comes together, or there's a two people meet at like a festival, and then they start a relationship, and then that causes issues. Between both of the villages. So very Romeo and Juliet. I'm very excited for this movie. I saw the trailer and it looks very, very
Okay,
good.
I've not even heard about this film.
Oh my god, you need to Google it. It looks like go on Instagram basically. Everyone's talking about it. It looks very
Okay,
good.
Kere means lake and bete means fishing or like whatever. So Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like slice of life films, take away
Mm-hmm.
the big BGMs and big masks and it's just characters and a little
Yeah.
storyline, a little romance, a little emotion. I like those films.
Yeah.
Personally, I
Yeah.
think they hit a lot harder.
Yeah, and this looks like a village kind of like story like that, and I love village stories because I think a ton of like Karnataka is still living that rural life, so I think this is something that all audiences will be able to
So
appreciate.
that I'll have to check that out. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Recently, what trailers have I watched? Avatar Portion 2 is coming out. I think
Hmm.
sometimes, not sometimes, recently after the success of like Bahubali KGF and all that sort of thing, they're having
Hmm.
a part A, part B, or like a part
Hmm.
one, part two situation they're like, oh, if we
Yeah.
do this, we're gonna, you know, make more money. And necessarily,
Yeah.
not every film needs a part A and a part B or one or two.
Yep.
So Avatar Pusha, I did watch part one, which it was good. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything. It was like an average film for Shannon.
Yeah.
For Shannon, it was a newer concept, like black magic, that sort of thing, like supernatural.
Hmm.
But it wasn't like jaw dropping where you're like, oh, I can't wait for part two. I can't wait.
Right.
It's not like I can't sleep at night because I want to know. I want to know, like, why did Bahubali kill Kattappa? Like, I want to know, like, that sort of thing. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Like, I want to know what happens next, but if I don't, it's whatever. So honestly, I thought they weren't gonna make a part two because part one didn't do that well. But now they are doing part two, which I'm gonna watch
Gosh,
it
that's
because I want to
crazy.
know.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
watch it, but I don't know. I just think they just assume making a part one and two is gonna solve all their problems, but it really didn't. And
Yeah.
easily they could have made
I'm
that film in one film and just ended it.
Yeah. I'm over part one and part two. Just give me single films. We're good.
Waiting, man, I can't do the wait. I just want to know
Yeah.
now. Because by the time the second one comes
Yeah.
out, I'm done. Like, I forgot what happened in the first one. And, like, for example, KGF.
Exactly.
Like, we waited, like, 3 years for KGF 1 and 2. It was, like, as much as I loved it, I just, like, it's tiring, man. It's
Yeah.
tiring. I just saw a
Yeah.
poster for Ramana Avatara a few hours back.
Oh, which one's
So
that?
that's the one starring Rishi and Pranita.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
Hmm.
love Rishi. Operation
That was
Almelama
cute.
is such a good film, and I
Yeah.
loved his character in that so much. So I love Rishi. So I'm excited to see him back on the screen. And Pranita, she
Yeah.
had like kids, and I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
So keen to welcome her back to the big screen. It's an interesting combo, and it looks like
Yeah.
a lot of like fun-filled film. Like I miss
Hmm.
fun. I miss having fun watching a film.
Same. Yeah. And that's why I'm looking forward to that one because they look so cute together and it looks like very colorful and just, yeah, just fun. Let's give us some fun films. We're done with these serious, dark films.
Yeah, we're done with the killing 100 people and the revenge and
Yeah, yes.
give us some comedy, lighthearted, like
Yeah.
Bachelor Party.
Give
I
us
like that. That type. Bring
give
it back.
I want like a good love story, just like a Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari, like good love story that I can just melt into.
Yeah, I think the love story trope has been done so many times. They are just like, oh nah, there's way too many out there.
No, just keep giving it to us. Just give it to
Yeah,
me. That's all
but
I want.
there's a reason it's been done so many times because people
Yeah.
like it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind another nice love
Exactly.
story. Maybe an enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Give me something. Look, I'm single as fuck, so I depend on movies to give me the romance I need.
Yeah, I need something to keep me delusional.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, perfect. Any last thoughts?
No, not
All
really.
right.
I think we've pretty much, I think this is a long episode and we've covered everything we were
I
looking
think
to.
so too. It's okay. I'll edit it down because I'm sure there's some like stuff we want to take
Yeah,
out. But I think this is a good
if you
episode.
feel like I
Um,
rambled too much, please cut it out.
I'll probably just edit out like the awkward pauses. That you usually have like 3 minutes of awkward pauses. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes, I hope you guys had fun. And make sure you follow us on our socials. Instagram
Yes.
is our main one at the moment. And listen to us. Well, I'm assuming you're listening to us on one of our streaming platforms. Make sure you listen to our
Yes.
deep dive on Blink, our minisodes, and let us know what you think.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.